Alright, welcome to episode 27, I want to say, of History Rewritten. Last time we had a massive war in the Middle East. As you can see, the entire area looks completely different. There's now a Cretan Empire, who's basically like the entire Aegean Sea, as well as Western Anatolia and Cyprus. There is a Crimean colony over here. The brown team in this reddish-brown country expanded. This one's expanded. The orange team is massive now. The lime team's really long. The green team's pretty huge. But most notably, the red team, which was the strongest country for 26 episodes, and the oldest country in the world, is now really, really small. I mean, in modern day, they'd probably be like a 30th strongest country. Maybe, I don't know. They've still got some of their oldest regions. They've got Kuwait City down here, which is where the entire red team people originated from. They still got the capital and the Euphrates and Tigris rivers. Is it Tigris? It is, I think. Although not the entire way, because I think they go up here slightly. But they could be doing worse. However, they're still not doing amazingly. And we got three other nations which were carved out from the remaining areas of the red team. So even if those three united, this is not a big red team. So at the moment it's really not looking good for the red team. However, for lots of the other countries that participated in that war, other than the massive loss of population they suffered, it's looking pretty good. The yellow team is very much back. I mean, kind of. This isn't like the old yellow team, which they had an Adriatic coast, but they do have Constantinople again, so the yellow team's pretty happy. You can also see the light blue country is gone, but I think that's enough recapping. Now we spent like 2 minutes recapping. Crikey. Let's get on with doing some wars. So the green team is one of the countries who benefited a lot from that war. They got its population and money, and they're going to be declaring war on the Caspian Sea. Alright. Now, they're going to be declaring war on this greenish country over here. They're relatively rich for one of these countries, because they have a northern trade route that goes through here. We've got, of course, this one goes along here, and another one that goes up and through here. So that means you have two trade routes running through the country. Obviously this one doesn't go through the water, probably go down a bit. So these two cities here, like the capital and this one over here, are very rich. They make loads of money. And the green team is going to be trying to aim for those areas. So they head into these northern parts of the country and make a push for a big old lake. They arrive at this lake, which is actually a sea, something sea. And they've already taken one of the cities. This country was completely unprepared. They thought, oh, the green team's just going to have a war. They'll be fine. However, lots of people are shunning the green team for doing this, as they've disrupted lots of the trade. However, the green team's kind of like, don't worry, we'll make trade route deals a lot better for you once we've taken over this country. So they're kind of like, oh, that sounds alright. Finally, the green team manages to encircle the capital in this massive front we have over here, and in the end they manage to take it. It's not a hugely long war, like a few months or so, but let's redraw these borders because this country isn't gone. They did manage to not get destroyed in that war. However, they're not as strong as they used to be. And they might be pretty quick to collapse sometime in the future. We'll have to see. Anyway, this is a pretty good load of land for the green team to take. It's right in the middle of Kazakhstan, I believe. How would this look with modern day stuff? It's an interesting idea. Like, is the green team at the moment, if it was here modern day, would it be stronger than Kazakhstan? I don't know, Kazakhstan's like 50th in the world, I think. Something like that. Anyway, so the green team is going to be annexing all this territory, as I stated loads of times before. I'm not sure I like how this looks, but we'll roll with it. But yeah, and then they're going to kind of do some stuff with the trade routes, not entirely what they promised, and just go into an isolation thing. They're going to start stacking up loads of money. I mean, they invested in the trade routes a lot, and then just went into isolation, just let people go down the trade routes, and accumulated their wealth. Yeah, their kings generally quite like spending loads of money, because they want to make their mark on the country, seeing as it's all this dynastic stuff and trying to be really cool and whatever. However, they've gone into isolation for the moment, so I suppose we might see what they're planning at the end of the episode, but who knows, Maybe they're not planning anything at all, and they're just got really peaceful, good ideas in their head. If you've looked at the thumbnail, you can probably guess what's going to happen, and it's not going to be fun. Anyways, they're also going to expand into this northern bit, just as I say. They're not going to do anything, they're going to do this. Sorry, I lied to your face again. Anyway, boom, massive green team. But another country who really benefited from this war was the Lime team. Lime team has been doing a lot of colonization recently, which is something that's going to be quite a recurring theme throughout the next few episodes. Probably next quite a lot of episodes. So, I finally managed to just take over these islands. I don't know why, I don't really have them doing it beforehand, but I don't know what I wanted to do with them. So anyway, they've managed to take over this huge load of islands, and as you can see, the Indian Empire owns a lot of the Indian Ocean. They have massive. They've got Tanzania colony, ownership over loads of islands, all this stuff in the East Indies. Yeah, and they're going to take some more islands just generally around. I don't know if I'm going to put these ones in a box. I can put them in a box if I want to. But they are very much in favour of colonialism at the moment. They're kind of just... Lots of it is they want to explore the world. There is a massive push in India to explore lots of the world. They've discovered all this new stuff in Southeast Asia, and that's really, really fascinating for loads of people. So they're going to do more colonization here. Of course, the Strait of Malacca has made the Indians so much money. This is a very important part of their empire, although, the rest of India does make a lot of money also. So, I can quite freely invest in lots of these colonies and make them really strong and relatively autonomous-ish, kind of. I don't know. Sort of. There's lots of governors for all these different areas, but generally, the more power you have, the more power you have of colonies. So most of these places are run by relations to the crown, and all that stuff. See, the Lime team really interests me because at the start they were really insignificant. I mean, they did lots of trade and they had lots of stuff that people wanted. However, they weren't a huge player in the world, and they're also quite religious because the Orange team and the Green team are both very religious countries. The Green team follows their sort of Caspian water religion, with different spirits and stuff. And the Orange team has a religion based around the sun, and reincarnation, and the start of things and whatever, the creation story. All that stuff. I mean, so did the Green team, but the Orange team is more focused on that. And then the Indians had this fused religion of both of these types, which is about the contrast between fire and water. That's his original, and also spirits. But recently they've become very imperialist, which is an interesting turn for India. But I think there's something else I was going to say, but I don't know. Yeah, I was talking about how their government's run. So, it's a good question how their government is run. Because at the start, we've probably been more free, but now I think certain very powerful families have got in control various things in the country. It's like all your relations with all the rich people really decides how far you can ascend through Indian society. So, yeah, we'll have to see how that evolves. Anyway, India has become a very big player in the Indian Ocean, as I mentioned before, and the blue country over here in Ethiopia has really fallen under the Indian sphere of influence. The Indians are their main trading partner. There we go. So they finally expanded their Tanzanian colony, Kenyan one, to reach up with this place, Ethiopia, which is cool. They're also going to make a new colony in northern Madagascar. So this now exists. Let's change how this looks. This now exists, and yeah, as you can see, massive load of influence. That's not normal. Yeah. It's not over yet for colonialism, as they will make a landing on the island of Java. So yeah. Discovering more stuff. I don't really know the differences between all of these different Indonesian islands, but they're cool. And the Indians are making loads of money from it, so it must be pretty good. It's going to go up along this North Borneo area, through Brunei, and I think they probably know the Philippines exist at the moment, although they've not gone over there yet. Yep. Boom. But yeah, so we're going to see more Indian influence across the world, but some countries kind of want to grab up some land before the Indians take all of it. So this is, namely, the South China country, or now Indochina, which is quite a good name for this country, seeing as it is, or it did used to be, China. As well as this Myanmar's country around here. Wait a sec. Hold up 1 second. I've realised something now. Just imagine that didn't happen, because it will happen in today's episode, I think. However, I was going to do something else after this. Indian influence. Now, the Indians like making money, and one of the best ways to make money, they've realised, is connecting up all of Asia. So they kind of tried to get the orange and the light blue countries to connect up, and today they're going to manage to do that. Don't worry about me completely forgetting that. So, yeah, they're going to kind of fund these countries and also force them. But they're like, well, we'll give you a good trade deal if you do it, but also do it. Get on with it. Make us some money. That's not right. Damn it. Is this right? Anyway, yeah, so they're going to force these countries to connect their borders, and then they're going to invest a lot in refurbishing the trade routes, because this trade route is not the nicest place to stay. It's right in the middle of a jungle. However, oh well, deal with it. Deal with it! So the Indians do invest in lots of this stuff, but they also do force the Myanmarese and the Chinese to pay a lot of it. However, this group of southern Chinese countries also helps out the orange one, because their relations are relatively okay down here. There's not too much mistrust in this area, so there you go. Massive trade route that now links all of this stuff from India around here all the way to China to Korea's capital, and then all the way along there. So now we can get on with expanding Indochina and the rest of Myanmar, because I mean nobody would have used that bit down here, so it wouldn't have really mattered if they connected up, because there's no trade route going through their country. But oh well, just for the sake of making it more realistic, I suppose. They do it afterwards, and also now it's more explored, because these guys are not as rich as the orange or the light blue country. So yeah, there's some reasons. It's not just me deciding it's not as cool. And the purple one, I really like this dark purple colour. This series has made me discover I like the dark purple, like the colour of dark purple. So these guys, they're kind of reluctant to expand into this bit. They really want to go down here. However, they're worried the Indians want to connect up both their colonies. However, they make a jump for it, and the Indians don't do anything about it. So they're kind of like, yeah, we'll be fine then. and then they expand around to connect up with Vietnam and this bit, and they just do a tiny bit more expansion out in the jungle over here. So they're a pretty large Myanmar's country, and Southeast Asia is getting pretty explored by now. You know, they're going to have to go to Central Asia soon, which will be a lot of fun. Yeah, so the Indians really are quite a catalyst for exploration and all sort of stuff. Yeah. We are really in the age of exploration at the moment. That is an age, I think. Because, yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, we need to get on with the rest of the colonialism. Because last time the Kamchatkan Civilisation Amur country arrived in Alaska, in America. You know where Alaska is. So they're going to continue colonizing this bit. They'll make a small colony on this island over here. You know, these islands, there's really not much there. However, they like taking it as outposts and stuff. And generally, one of their main economic areas is an island. The island of Sakhalin. So they're quite like islands. However, they really will need to ramp up their speed that they colonize stuff if they want to actually get all of Alaska. However, they're not going to be that quick because it's Alaska and it's cold. So, probably once the Norwegians manage to take over all of Greenland, I mean, just saying they might do that, who knows? I mean, Norway has a pretty good grasp over Greenland. But by the time they could potentially do that, these guys will probably have Alaska. That was like 1700 when the Danish took over all of Greenland. And at the moment, we're in about 1600. Just the year, not the 1600s, just 1600. But yeah, so these guys, they have inspired other countries to want to go to the western coast of America, because they're kind of assuming there is some stuff down there. So, you know, we might see some other East Asian countries make the journey across the Pacific Ocean to America. I'm also going to expand the Kamchatkan stuff, because this is pretty cool. And it's a lot closer than Alaska is. So yeah, the Civilisation country is huge though. Massive Civilisation country. Anyway, what would an episode with stuff in East Asia be without a war in Japan? So, we're going to get on with doing that. The Yellow Country. Where is the Yellow Country? Is it this one? Yeah. The Yellow Country will be declaring war on our central Green Country in Japan, who's really just been pummeled a lot recently. They've not been having a great time. So the Yellow Country is probably about the same strength. No, I changed my mind. They're weaker. So although they make a good push, they don't manage to land at the capital, and instead they make a landing down by the southern area, west of the capital. Meanwhile, the Green team does a similar thing. However, they manage to separate the two areas of the Yellow Country. This causes the Yellow Country to withdraw their troops to go and defend the capital. However, they were a touch too late, as the Green Country manages to take their capital, and now the Yellow Country realizes they've made a mistake, which was not a good idea, because their capital is being captured, and the Green Country is kind of holding them to ransom. However, don't worry, Yellow Country, it's not all lost, because even though the Green Country is taking a load of your provinces, another country who really hates the Green Country for some reason will be joining this war, and that country is the Lilac Country. So they move in and capture this city, and then go around some of these rural areas, building their way up towards the one of the major cities in the north. This causes the Yellow Country to be able to push back the, I want to say pistachio coloured one, but I don't think they are pistachio coloured. Anyway, and they're getting pretty close to re-liberating their capital, which they manage. So there's that. And now they're reinstating their push into northern Japan. That's a northern bit. Make a landing here and finally manage to capture the capital, and that is end of that war. So Lilac Country will be annexing. The Lilac Country will be annexing this huge eastern area along here, whilst in this bit will sit over there. Just gonna fix this border slightly. Don't you worry. Slight border exchange. There's not much use in taking this eastern stuff, but they don't want to leave this new country because, yeah, new country. That's great. Without a major city, because that'd be kind of mean. So that's our newest country. The yellow country will be annexing the capital. Yeah, the entire capital of the green country will be reduced to just this bit. This is kind of mean. But new borders of Japan look very different. To see what's happening. But you might be able to guess who appears to be the most dominant Japanese country. The purple one. Yeah. Got some plans for the lilac country, who also owns Taiwan, just to remind you. Anyway, I've meant to do some stuff over here. We have the Terracotta Nation making a landing in Haiti. So they go over to this bit and start a new colony over here in Hispaniola. Of course they have Puerto Rico, but they didn't go to the Dominican Republic. They went to Haiti. So they've got that now. They will also be colonizing north of this bit of America, right over here. So there you go. Their colony is pretty large at the moment, and is really skyrocketing them forward in terms of European power. Yeah, they fell a bit when they lost their colonies in Britain and Scandinavia, and the Sludge Nation's been kind of destroying their influence. However, they've been rebuilding it with their colonialism, and the fact that Sludge Team leadership's kind of gone down the drain a bit. Their leadership isn't as strong as it used to be, and people don't respect their leaders as much as they used to. So, yeah. It's not as cool as it used to be. Anyway, the French country will be expanding along into this deserty area and also down south a bit. Yeah, this is amazing stuff. I'm not sure they should be expanding that much, however, don't worry about it. In fact, I'm going to worry about it. There you go. So, the French will be expanding slightly into this desert, and they find basically nothing there. However, they do it anyway. So, yeah. I'm not sure what my plans are for the French country. They've kind of just existed for a while, and they've managed to get away with it. I don't know how. So, yeah, pretty large Mexican colony for the French. But we'll be moving on to our next country, who will not be language. It's Britain and Ireland who will be colonizing next. So, Britain and Ireland will be expanding quite a lot because these guys are pretty strong. And so is basically the other guys. But, Ireland is expanding in its northern area because they're kind of interested in all the different rivers around here. But they'll also be doing a bit of expansion down in the south, whilst Britain will go along to this area and also head slightly to the south. I don't know, is the rate of colonialism for each episode about right? I think eventually they'll ramp up, and then in one episode we might have them just taking loads of stuff all at once. Because I have an idea of what I want the borders to look like. I don't want them to end up looking horrific. There's a very possibility. But we kind of have the 13 colonies here. I'm not trying to emulate that, it's just we've kind of ended up with that at the moment, which is interesting. Oh, damn it. But yeah, Irish Empire is quite cool. I like these guys. But it's not just these guys who will be colonizing today, as we have a few more countries who are going to join the colonial race. However, not in North America. Because if you look at the power rankings, we have obviously the Lime Team at number 1, their influence is massive at the moment. Number 2 is the Sludge Nation, who, although their leadership isn't as good as it used to be, are still very powerful. And number 3 is the Algerian country. So they have managed to stay as a really strong top 5 country for basically the entire series. They've done really well so far. Have to see if they keep that up. However, they would like to get even stronger. So, instantly you might not have expected, the blue team in Africa will be making their colonial journey down into America, but not before some guys do some exploration first, because where they're going, people don't know exists yet. However, don't worry, these guys are doing some exploration around the coast of Brazil, because, you know, they have Catalonia, the purple team. I leaked some information there. I didn't mean to leak that. Yeah, the purple team will expand their Brazilian colony a little bit. I think the purple team's one of those ones, right? Damn it. Damn it. Their colour's really cool though, because it's purple, and I've grown to really like purple now. Green is 0 for these guys. And 170. Nice. So they own a lot of Brazil. Obviously this stuff is making them a lot of money. It's Brazil. Brazil, we can grow sugar and other things. Sugar is getting to my mind. Tobacco, bananas, yams, most things probably. So, you know, money. Everyone likes money. Except people who don't. I like money. Just give me your money. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, large Brazilian colony. But it will get a lot larger. Anyway, blue team, yeah. We need to get on with them. They make a landing just north of Uruguay. Over here, in this sort of area. So, they've never really colonized. Actually, no, they have. I don't know what I'm saying. None of these countries ever colonized before. So their colony is not massive. However, they do some more expansion into the central areas of this bit of Brazil. And it is quite a large colony. By the time they stop expanding and centralize it, and, you know, set up some settlements and trading posts and stuff. So yeah. Cool for the blue team. I quite like these guys. And the other country that I leaked was going to be doing some stuff is the Catalonian country. It was kind of a bit sad about how they did literally nothing in that massive war. Well, their allies got destroyed. And what a rubbish. So they're going to try and become a bit stronger by setting up their own colonies around the world. Let's see how that goes for these guys. Blue to 166. That's not right. Ah, yeah, I remember now. Is this right? Yeah. Anyway, so although there is this bit right here, just don't worry about it. They managed to sail around it and completely avoid it. I mean, it's crazy, but yep, they completely avoid the fact that you can't sail through land and make a landing over here in Peru. So, yeah, this is a very big continent, and currently there's not many countries on this very big continent. So they might have to speed this up very quickly. You know, some other people could arrive, I suppose. And also, I doubt if there's any huge countries on this continent, they're going to stay as huge countries for very long. But there you go. Oh yeah, and Grenada. I forgot about Grenada. They're going to do some expansion. They are currently are mostly islands. They do like their islands. They've got Cuba, they've got some random islands, they've got Tobago, and a tiny bit of Venezuela. Yeah. Damn it! What is this? It doesn't look that bad, to be fair. Might use that asphalt looking colour for a different thing. But not for the country that's green. Kind of forgot how creative you can be with this. It's just that it takes a really long time to find all the numbers and stuff. But there you go. So they're going to be colonizing more of the northern coast of Jamaica, yeah. Venezuela. Yeah, pretty nice for these guys. And more countries are feeling encouraged to join the colonial race, like East Asian ones. So comment who you think, which East Asian nation you think will start colonizing. Because there will be some next episode, even though I just said, you never know, there might not be. But there will be, so don't worry. I think I definitely need to make them colonize more each time. But there you go. Right, so these guys there. We've got one final last war to finish off the episode, unless I remember something I haven't done, which I want to do. Sorry, there shouldn't be anything like that, should there? Damn it. No. And this war is, of course, as you may have guessed, instigated by the Green Country. So they will be declaring war on... Look at their neighbours. Who do you think it's going to be? The Lime Team. Yeah, and the Green Team's going to win this, so this is now, of course, the Green Team's empire. Yeah, they just win. Take out the ally. Crazy. No, they're going to be declaring war on the Brown Country. Yeah. This is like the 4th oldest country in the world, and the Green Team will be starting a war against them. So let's see how this transpires. Could not be fun. This is a very good time for the Green Team to declare war on the Brown Country, as in the last episode, the Red Team declared war on the Brown Country, and spent a really long time sieging their capital city, which was highly defended because it's been here for ages, and the defences were mainly built to defend it from Green Team people, and it's just really rocky and hard to get through. Now that they're destroyed, and they've been in a rebuilding phase, it's not as defended as it was before. There's lots of discontent. There's an awful lot less people. The Green Team just absorbed a load of people from a country that didn't participate in the war that killed loads of people. So, yeah. Green Team's on top here, I think. They're going to push and take this major city. However, it is pretty tough going. They've only advanced this far in about 2 weeks, I want to say. Maybe like 3. And after about 3 months, this is about as far as they've got. It's not a huge amount of stuff. They decided to change their tactic in the south to just taking some of these rural areas, just so even if they don't win this war entirely and take out the Brown Team fully, they get some stuff. They're going to move towards this Azerbaijani area and manage to take a major city along there, which is going to cause another country to join this war, this country being this brownish coloured thing. They got some land in the last episode because they declared war on the Red Team. Or actually it's the other way around, but who cares. With some assistance from the Green Country, they'll manage to take this major city over here, and then they manage to connect these two fronts up for going and moving closer and closer and closer, and eventually taking down this major city out here in the south. So, yeah. The Green Team rushes through some of this. Actually, it's not that rural, really. All this land is relatively urbanized. I mean, this is 1600, so it's not that urbanized. But there's like settlements, very small ones, like farmsteads and stuff, in lots of places. So there's that. The Green Country is going to continue down the coast, as they make lots of navy bombardments along this area from the Caspian bit. Recently they declared war on the Caspian Sea, so that's crazy. No. And another country is going to join this war. This time it's the Grey Country. They've done pretty much nothing except expand northwards. However, this really caught the Brown Country off guard, and they barely had any defences in this city. From the Green, I just think it's unrealistic. They didn't expect all the new troops. However, this country is not very rich, so they're not going to be contributing that much, except just being a load of people. By now, some people in the Brown Country are slightly scared, for good reason. And this huge chunk of Brown Team territory will decide to say, no, we're rebelling, we're going to leave the country and join the Crimean nation. So, it's kind of like, oh. Brown Country is really not happy at the moment. More navy bombardments and landings happen, until they managed to close off the entire coast of the brown country, or Caspian coast. But they're going to keep fighting, this is their main enemies. By now, they've arrived at some of the most rural, mountainous areas, so although it's pretty hard going in this area, there isn't much to stop them except for the natural environment. A few revolts for unhappy people who've been forced to rebuild defenses and stuff, which they should have been doing quicker really, will appear within the country, and you could potentially have some new states being created out of this big old mess. Anyway, they get to this bit, and about 9 months later, this area is captured in the capital. So this one pretty large group of provinces over here took 9 months to siege and to capture. The defenses of the brown team, even when they're just slightly destroyed, are no joke. But yeah, let's have a look at this peace treaty, because it's not going to be fun if you support the brown country. But if you support the green country, this is like amazing stuff. The green country might be in another empire phase at the moment. This is like their 4th empire, I want to say. The green teams don't stop. These guys are amazing at just capitalizing on stuff and building pretty powerful empires. Cup of tea. So they annex some of this northern area of the brown country, and their main aim is to take the entire Caspian coast from this nation, because that's like how they were back in the past, a very long time ago, before everything collapsed, and the Red Team declared war on them. So they're trying to emulate that and rebuild their once extremely powerful empire. This is something they succeed on, as you can see by me giving them all these provinces. So, yeah. The brown country, this is a brownish red country, will also like to steal away a load of provinces. These guys have basically never been powerful in their life, so they'd really like to be powerful at the moment. So they get some stuff. It's not an amazing load of stuff, but it is some stuff. The grey country will receive some areas. They didn't receive loads because they didn't do loads. Also, the green team's going to take the capital. I feel like I should have mentioned that. But yeah, it's kind of like, duh. Of course they will. So, the grey country will receive that one little area. The green country is pretty much done taking stuff at the moment. I'm just going to take this little bit over here. The brown country is done taking stuff at the moment. And yeah, they've just got some random other provinces that remain in this country. And what are we going to do with those? And what is the green team going to do with those? Because it's not me who gets to decide what happens to these random provinces. It's the green country. And that maybe isn't a good thing. Really maybe isn't. So this is not one country, it's going to be 2. So a north and a south Caucasia are created. The northern one gets less land because they got a coastline. That's pretty good. So there they are. And the southern one is of course going to be the same colour as the nation they came from. So that colour is of course, let's find it, right here. Yeah, as you can see, that's not the same colour, unless you're colourblind, in which I'm sorry. But the brown country is entirely removed. One of our nations that was created in the first episode, is now gone. And the 4th oldest country in the world is fully destroyed. Most of their people are in either these countries, around here. Most of them, well, there's some in the green team, but lots of them have gone to this beigey, dingo sort of coloured thing, and this southern brown one, or to Crimea. A significant amount have fled to Crimea, the grey country, all these sludge nation, and even a few have made it up into these extremely northern areas. But most of the brown country people have fled up here. So, yeah, that's kind of a pretty dark ending to an episode. Just the loss of one of our oldest nations in the world. But yeah, you can possibly expect more of that. You know, we lost the red team, kind of. They're a lot weaker. The nations made in episode 1 were the red team, the orange team, who now is just enforcing everyone in the Arabian desert to become highly religious. The green country, Crimea, who is very powerful at the moment, and the brown team, who is not with us. So, yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed making this episode. It's quite a cool one, in my opinion. Like, subscribe, comment, down. I've got a cup of tea, so I'm really pleased. Anyway, have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you again next time, which might be tomorrow.